Ken Gray, what's up, buddy? This is Rob Fairless and Randy Ashby with the 25th Hour Radio Show.
Hey, you got the wrong Ken. But I've got Ken Gray's phone number. My number is real similar to his.
Maybe we'll interview you one day.
All right, that'll work.
Later, man.
Bye bye.
The 25th Hour Radio Show.
Ken, this is Rob Fairless and Randy Ashby with the 25th Hour Radio Show, buddy. How you doing?
I think you had the wrong number.
I called the wrong number, man. Did you know that?
No, did you really?
Yes, I did. I called 27. Well, I ain't gonna say your number, but
I know it's you called. And that guy is so nice. He's bless his heart. He gets so many calls. People wanting to get in touch with me.
He said you got the wrong Ken, man. But I have Ken's number. I was like, oh my goodness.
That's
We went ahead and interviewed him.
hysterical.
Yeah, I told him we'll get him on the show one day. Then.
You'd probably get a better interview from him than you would from me.
All right, buddy. You ready?
Sure, yeah, let's go. Hit it.
So Ken, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you originally from, and what made you want to, get into interior design?
Oh, heavens. Well, I'm a small town boy from Booneville, Mississippi, a small place, 6,000 people. And honestly, it's actually very pertinent because I was from such a small place. There was such limited opportunity, there. And we didn't even have art or drama. We had a little bit of art, but no creative outlets in my schools or in the community or whatnot. And I even started a community theater in my town when I was 13 years old, which still exists. So, I guess the moral of that part of my life and that story is that I learned at a very early age to create my opportunities creatively, So, my family too was so super supportive of my creative spirit and whatnot, and I feel like that really set the stage, so to speak, for a very interesting career for me.
So let us in on the school you went to hone your craft. Was it a school designed just to produce nothing but top-notch designers?
Oh yeah, Parsons. It's the most prestigious, I suppose, school for art and design. And so I moved to LA to go there when I was just barely 18, and I didn't know a soul, and I'm here I am in LA, and I remember I got off the plane and went to where the school was, and I was starving, couldn't find anything to eat anywhere. I mean, it's just always something, and then I don't know, the school was situated in a kind of a not so great part of town, and the only thing I could find to eat was this restaurant called Pescado Mojado, which means wet fish, I find out later.
It sounds expensive.
That's exactly what it was. But I don't know. I didn't know a soul, but I dug in, and I actually went to college, went there, and majored in fashion design, which I never ended up doing as a career. But design is design in so many ways, and it really afforded me so many opportunities, and met people that I needed to sort of make things happen for me from that. So it was a wonderful experience, absolutely. I think one of the other best things about going to such an international sort of college was that I was surrounded by people from all parts of the globe, and so I got a real culture. This kid from Mississippi, all of a sudden thrown in the mix with everybody and anybody from all over the place, all over the world. I got a lot of lessons in tolerance and meeting all these different types of people. You know, I gleaned a real appreciation for sort of, you know, it takes all types and all kinds of people to make this world interesting and creative, and so that was a really big part of my education. You know, more so, or as much as the classes I took.
So now, do you incorporate some of the things you picked up from these people abroad into some of the things you do now?
Oh, absolutely. I'm inspired by a lot of things, but I've always been, you know, in my craft now, which is obviously interior design. I'm inspired by so many things like color and fashion hugely, but also a huge part of that is culture. And you know, I've done extensive traveling, and most of which through. I started on a TV show a few years ago on the Travel Channel, and so I got to travel all over the place and experienced a lot of really very interesting places and cultures and things. And you know, I always say, you know, you can find beauty in so many places. You just have to know where to look, you know. And I think just sort of stepping outside yourself or the box you're used to living in and opening yourself up to new experiences can really be inspiring. So that's kind of the story of my life is inspiration, I guess you would say.
Well, I got to ask you something. This is kind of off the beaten path, but I want to know this.
Oh, goody.
Here we go.
I love it.
And I've always wanted to know this. How often should someone change their interior design of their home? I mean, how long should you leave something the way it is before you change it?
Speaking as a professional interior designer, and I have been that for, almost over 20 years, I guess, I would say every 6 months. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I was like, wow, I'm way behind.
Can't even break a couch in.
Well, I have to say that, so I'll stay in business, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no, really. I mean,
that's job security for you. Yeah, that's right.
That's job security for sure.
6 months.
You know, things. I look at it kind of like a revolving door in a way. You know, you sort of create a good base of design in your home, and that can last you a good 10, 15 years, you know. But in the interim, as things get trendy or things are, you know, coming in and out of fashion, then you can sort of change things here and there. You don't have to gut your house every 10 or 15 years. You know what I mean? It can be an ongoing project, and that's what makes it fun too. You know, you don't have to break the bank or, you know, redo everything all at once every single time. It can be an ongoing, and that's some of my favorite clients are those types of people that, you know, it's an ongoing process, you know, and I've been working with these people for years, you know, and it, you know, every, you know, 6 months or a year, they'll call me and say, you know what, we kind of, you know, this room is feeling a little stale. Let's spice it up a bit, you know, and I just go in and make it fresh, you know.
Yeah. So
it doesn't have to be a federal case for crying out loud. It's just interior design. It's not brain surgery.
So after you graduated, man, what was next on your list? Did you go to work for someone else, or did you work for yourself?
No, I've always owned my own businesses and companies. I actually, through all of this, I modeled for like about, I don't know, 12 or 13 years or something. So I was doing a lot of modeling all over the world, and but at the same time too, then I ended up moving to New York and Paris and then Boston ultimately, and I owned the largest art gallery in Boston, which was a wonderful experience. And at the same time as I had the gallery, then I had an interior design firm, and you know, I had a lot going on. I had 18 people working for me, and I had this TV show on the Travel Channel, and it was just a very full life. And I thought, oh, this has got to end sometime. So after the Travel Channel show, I said, well, I have really been away from my family, you know, the South for, at that time, about 16 years. And I just said, I'm just ready to sort of be back a little bit and be closer to my family. I was kind of tired of talking to them on the phone, you know, and being so busy and so far away that I couldn't talk to them a lot. And so I sold my businesses and my gorgeous loft and
Oh no.
and whatnot. I know, and moved to Kentucky randomly. But as it is, like as crazy as all that sounds, and it was crazy for me to do that at the time. I was sort of at the height of my pinnacle of my career, and but at the same time, I just kind of felt like I had really accomplished. I know that sounds crazy, but at that time, I guess I was 33 or 4, and I felt like I had accomplished everything I'd really set out to accomplish. And what I didn't know at the time was that the best was yet to come. And I know that sounds cliche, but like my life now is, so much different and so much better and more prophetic than I ever thought it could be, you know? And when I say I thought I was at the pinnacle of my career, that may or may not have been true, but right now I can say I'm at the pinnacle of my life, which is a wonderful thing to be able to say and feel honestly, you know?
You got to be happy. That's what it's all about, ain't it?
Oh, yeah.
So let me ask you, man.
I'm so happy.
Are you one of these hands-on interior decorators, or do you stand off?
To a fault.
So you're in the middle of it when it's going on. Then
I am in the middle of it. I am hanging wallpaper. I am hanging drapes. Whatever it takes to make it perfect. That's what I'm doing.
So you are a perfectionist.
Oh, good Lord, I'm so ADD and perfectionist, yes. And the funny thing is, a lot of clients, like I think the biggest misconception is people think an interior designer will come in and like get rid of all your stuff and like replace it with stuff you don't know anything about, and, but that's just not the case. Like I am, my best quality in terms of my working relationship with clients is I listen. I get to know them. I feel and I see what they like, what they currently are about. And then I go off that and give them a wonderful plan that all of them say the same thing to me after, a project is complete. They're like, I don't know how you did it, but you absolutely captured who we are and how we want and need to live in our spaces, and I think that comes from listening rather than just doing. I'm not going to live in their home, so
Yeah.
I'm not trying to make it what I necessarily would have in my home. It's what they need, Excuse me. And there's so many factors in that. So listening is crucial in my business.
Now let me backstep a little bit. Now you said you were involved with the Travel Channel. You hosted a show on that network. How did you get involved with them?
Well, just kind of like everything in my life, I'm a shameless, self-promoting narcissist by nature. Okay, so
I might edit this out, but would you consider yourself an attention whore?
oh hell yeah. My grandmother used to tell me, she's like, if you don't believe in yourself, who the hell you think is going to believe in you? And those words always struck with me, a chord with me, so, anytime I feel like I'm doing something great or something interesting, I feel like it's my responsibility to myself to share it with people. Number one, to grow my own career, but also to inspire people. People I think a lot of times, that's why I think HGTV and the shows on Travel Channel and TLC and all these networks are so popular, the home design shows and whatnot, because people want to see other people doing fabulous things and living fabulous lives and getting made over. Makeovers are hugely interesting to people, and so I think that's a big part of it.
So your show was called what? Travel Spies?
Travel Spies, yeah.
Yeah. What was that about?
Well, it was we reviewed hotel properties all over the world. And I was sort of the design element of that, So I would go in and we were undercover and we had hidden cameras and everything. They didn't know we were coming and whatnot. And I would talk about the design aspects, whether I liked them or not. And of course, if you know me at all, it was a pretty funny situation usually because I was a pretty eccentric character on this show. I pulled out all the stock. My wardrobe in and of itself, like the wardrobe stylist was like, and after like the second episode, she's like, I think you just need to just go out and shop for your own clothes because I just cannot keep up with you. So, it was
now, I think I saw an episode of the Spill, and we'll talk about that here in a few minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But you said they still replay that show, right? You said in Korea?
Oh Lord, yes. Like it's funny. Like it doesn't play in the States right now, but it still plays in a bunch of countries, and I always know from time to time where it's playing because I'll get some rant because unfortunately you can Google me and get all my contact information, which I don't know how to make stop, but I'll get a random email from somebody in some country, a fan saying, oh my God, I just saw your show and it's so amazing or whatever, and I'll have to like go to Bing Translator because it's in Arabic or something weird, but yeah, it's funny.
So
and I'm dubbed in all kinds of languages.
I got to see that. I got to see that. I got to post that.
Yeah, for real.
So do you think you're a natural when it comes to being in front of a camera, other than interior design? Do you consider that your second home?
Well, I tell you what, I love making TV, and after the Travel Channel, that was such a great experience, and I thought, well, I should probably pursue doing this again. And then, my whole thing about sort of coming back down to the South sort of precluded that from happening. But then this opportunity came with the Spiel and Fox and everything, and I jumped on it because I love making TV. I love the whole process of it, and I feel like it's a good vehicle for me to tell my story and share my inspirations with people. Like I love what I do. Like I wake up every morning at 5:30, and I am working by 7 and doing it all until right now. Like all day long, all night long, and like I love what I do. I'm so passionate about it, and that some smart person once said, I'm certain of it, that nothing that you're passionate about is worth anything unless you can share it with somebody. So I love being able to share my excitement and my joy about design and beauty in the world with people. So yes, I love making TV, to answer your question. It's part of my process too. I look at it as part of what I do. It's sort of an extension of my design,
So if you could guest star on any show, what would it be? A guest appearance?
Oh, definitely Days of Our Lives in a lovemaking scene.
Not Days of Our Lives. Now, I used to watch that with my mom. That kind of went out in left field there, I don't know, about a decade or two ago. I think Marlena was having an exorcism and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Stefano.
Oh, yeah. I say this I say this laughingly, but for the benefit of one of my best friends is Charlotte Ross, who used to play Eve on Days of Our Lives, and so I'm saying this because she'll hear this and she'll laugh about that. But no, I don't know. If I had to guest star on a show, golly, that's a toughie. Well, I would give anything to guest star on Golden Girls, but that's not on anymore, is it?
Yeah, I have to go back in time on that one.
Any show out there would be lucky to have me. What?
So let's talk about your position right now with Ethan Allen. I know you're employed there. Why take your talents there?
Well, I'll tell you exactly why. Like I said before, I have always owned my own companies and felt like I brought them to a huge success, each one of them. And then I moved down here kind of to take it slow, to kind of relax a little bit after being in such rat race world for so long. And of course, I don't know what made me think that could actually be a reality, because it has not happened at all. I have never been busier than I am now. Mm-hmm. But they approached me to be the interior designer here at the Ethan Allen, and I honestly can tell you that I have thoroughly enjoyed this whole experience. Like, what's the difference is, when you own your own interior design firm, you have to run all over God's creation trying to find stuff for your clients. And with Ethan Allen, like, I have 95% of anything I would ever need all in one place. And so it just makes the job easier in a way, what it does really is it affords me more time to do the other things that I need to do for my clients. So it's good economy of my time, really, and it's just such an amazing company. It's the best quality furnishings and what home decor you can buy that's out there. And if I was going to work for a company, this would be the only one I would work for, and so that's why I'm there.
Now, have you been working with that company since you moved to Paducah?
Yeah, about 3.5 years.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's jump forward. Let's talk about what you're doing right now with the Spiel on Fox.
Yeah.
Did Angie Wyatt contact you to be involved with the show? And what's your contribution to the show?
Well, my contribution to the show is simple. I'm taking it over one step at a time.
I can see that. I see it every week.
I'm just kidding. No, Angie.
That's why Angie's out to get you.
Yeah, exactly. Angie, Julie, and Cammie, actually, I guess they had been following me for who knows how long, probably my whole life. You know how stalkerish they are.
Why wouldn't they?
And they appreciate about this idea to do this design segment and whatnot. And I thought about it. I said, like I was saying before, I said, this is just a great outlet. I love making TV anyway, and I really love being involved in a startup situation too. I feel really, I tell a lot of people a lot of the time that, my work on the Travel Channel, Discovery Communications, I did several other shows too. That was just the main one, but the production value of what Jason and Angie and these guys do at the Spiel is by and far to par with anything in New York or the BBC or anybody I've ever worked with. I'm very, very impressed, and I'm super picky about how my image is portrayed. If you don't have your Photoshop updated every day, then you're not going to be editing my footage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
I'm super picky, and I'm really, really so happy and impressed with what they do. And their commitment to their craft is equal to my own, and so that's why I feel like the synergy is there with us, and it's just working out tremendously.
Now, as far as the future of the Shades of Kenn Gray, what's the evolution process of your segment? I mean, what can viewers be expecting in the weeks and months to come?
Oh, mercy. Well, the thing is, Shades of Kenn Gray has no choice but to go in cycles. So we just sort of, the past few weeks, we showed several amazing episodes that we had been working on for the past few months. And so now it'll slow down a little bit, and then it'll rev back up again because we have to have time. The design process is slower, so it takes some time for me to get the projects ready to be filmed and whatnot. But there's some interesting things in the interim too. But there's a lot of exciting things in the works. I'm thrilled.
Well, buddy, outside of your life and work and TV, how do you enjoy life? Do you have hobbies, favorite TV shows, or anything like that to give our listeners, insight into Kenn Gray the man?
Absolutely. I have to have like 47 DVRs because I love TV so much, because I never get to watch it because I'm so friggin' busy.
Do you still have the DVR where you can only record like 2 shows at one time?
Yeah. It's horrible. Like, the bane of my existence. Like, I love TV. I love certain shows and whatnot, but I just literally I don't have time to watch a lot like I would want to. But my hobbies right now, outside of my 12 or 14 hour work days, are completely and 100% devoted to my family. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I have an amazing wife and a beautiful 30-year-old son, and I spend every moment I can with them, and it's a beautiful thing, and that goes back to what I was saying before, where I'm at the pinnacle of my life, versus my career right now, because I've never been happier in terms of that. I do a lot in my community, though. I'm on the board of the symphony, and I chair a lot of different fundraising events in town, and try to give back as much of my time and talent and whatnot as I can. And I feel like that's super important. You can't take from your community and not give back. So I do a lot of that.
Are you a singer?
A singer? I'm a bit of a singer.
Yeah, I mean, are you a singer? Are you? Oh, wait a minute. Are you a singer?
I'm a singer.
You're not just a karaoke singer, though, right? I mean, you got a pretty good voice.
Well, I don't know. Some say. I mean, I've done a few CDs and whatnot.
That don't sound like the Kenn Gray that I'm accustomed to watching.
It's obviously not my my first priority, because otherwise I would be on the top 40 right now. But I mean, it's one of those things where I didn't want to be a jack of all trades, master of none. I had to kind of pick something, but I do enjoy it, and I have made 2 or 3 CDs, and I like doing that. But there's only so many hours in the day. Come on, I'm only one man.
There's only so much you can give to this world.
Exactly. I mean, if only there were more Kenn Grays.
Oh Lord.
Oh Lord is right.
So tell us a little about where people can go as far as websites, social media, and stuff like that to get more information about you and what you're doing and what's up with you in your life.
Well, the best, most exciting thing is I have my own app now. So if you want more Kenn Gray, there's an app for that. So just go to the App Store and search Shades of Kenn Gray and download my app. And what's great about the app is you can see all, I keep it updated, or my people keep it updated with all my.
Kenn Gray has people.
Of course, with my pictures, and it's so easy to see all the segments, the Shades of Kenn Gray segments on the app. You just click whatever segment you want to watch, and it just shows right up on your phone, and it's super easy. And great design tips and all kinds of stuff is on there. So that's a really great thing. I do have a fan page, Facebook /Shades of Kenn Gray, and so I'm all over the place. I'm very Googleable too.
Kenn Gray, he's worth a Google.
Yeah.
Well, Kenn, man, thanks for joining us today on the show. You got something else?
You guys are awesome. You should have your own show, for real.
We do.
Oh, wait a minute. You get one of these.
I love it. Listen, I'm just doing my thing. I'm just making the world a more beautiful, astounding place, one room at a time.
Yeah, you are, man. We really appreciate you stopping by tonight.
My pleasure.
All
Y'all
right.
take care.
The 25th Hour Radio Show.